Hey, what is up everybody? Sierra here and welcome to my channel Red TV Plays. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for the 50 subscribers. Really do appreciate it. Those of you who have followed me in the last couple of weeks, thank you, and thank you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this. Ghost of Tsushima was made by Sony Computer Entertainment and Sucker Punch, and the story follows Jin Sakai, who is on a quest to protect Tsushima Island during the first Mongol invasion of Japan. He usually has past remembrance of his father getting killed, and he ends up being what they call the Ghost of Tsushima. So Jin is on a mission to stop the Mongols and also the Khan from killing a bunch of people and stuff. And along the way, you run into a lot of new friends and also some foes. So basically, that's what it's all about. And the game was released in July 2020 and re-released on August 2021. So here's everything you got to know about the game. So the game is a 3 out of 10 on difficulty, 4 out of 10 on grind. Number of trophies is 52 for the base game, 77 with DLCs, as in Legends and the Ike Island. Also, one playthrough, and you can do New Game Plus. It is optional. Really, it's up to you if you want to do it. And then it takes 150 hours for your first playthrough, but I think it's an additional additional 25 or 30 hours if you're doing the DLCs and New Game Plus. So it could run between that. I really don't know, but if you guys know the real answer to that, let me know in the comments and so on. But anyway, I'm gonna first talk to you guys about this game and its environments. I do have to say I was really shocked of how beautiful the game is, the lighting, the graphics, everything, especially some of the areas in the game. The environments look so beautiful, including this right here, the fall leaves pouring down. It's all yellow. There's some grass, and there is a lot of scenery. Like when you really dig into this game and you start exploring the whole map and everything, it just looks brilliant. There's like purple flowers and all that stuff. There's lakes, there's ponds, there's creeks, rivers, you name it. I mean, it's just fantastic. The oceans, there's oceans all through the game. You can go explore the beach and stuff like that. I mean, it just looks spectacular. And especially when you see a sunset, oh man, it looks so good. And then you're literally looking into the far ocean. There's ships there and they're just sitting there and all that. I mean, it looks fantastic. The mountains with snow on it looks awesome. When you get to like the third area, like towards the end of the game, it's all snow. And when you reach the second part of the island stuff, it looks like spring there and summer and all that. But I really do like the scenes in this game and the environments. Next thing to talk about is when you start the game. So when you start the game, you'll be able to do your very first mission. You can do it with Yuna, or you can go over to the right and do Ishikawa's mission. And each one of them grants you extra reputation points, if that's what they're called. Yeah, I'll just call it that. But I ended up doing Ishikawa's first because I wanted the bow. And then there's also undiscovered locations, so always check those. It could be pretty much everything. It can be shrines, it can be fox dens, hot springs, anything like that. So I started exploring and stuff, going to a Mongol territory and stuff, and I ended up going into a standoff against them. So basically, a standoff is like you're playing like a Western game, and they say that you start your killing like at high noon, for example. But what happens here is like if you're in a standoff and stuff, you can upgrade it like later on. And if you do have a an outfit called the Sakai clan armor, you can upgrade it to where you can kill five people with you know, in standoff mode, and that unlocks one of the trophies in the game. So it's really worth it and stuff. I really do suggest doing that sometime, and you can get the trophy. But I'll show you what I'm talking about in a few minutes. But right now, the gameplay of this game is so cool. I kind of still think of it as a, you know, hack and slash, because basically you're, you know, hacking and slashing mostly. You don't have guns or anything like that. You're just basically using swords or bows and stuff like that. And even some of your like throwables, and some of the throwables in the game are pretty cool. My favorite is the smoke bomb, because you can literally throw it down into the air and you can start assassinating enemies from there. And it is a really cool gadget to use, so I would suggest checking that out as well. The next thing to talk about is your map. So your map shows literally everything. It will show liberation camps, shows what missions are available, your side quests, and all that. Right now your map isn't all the way filled up, but when you do those Mongol territories and stuff, it will fill up maybe 1/4 of the map, and then you mainly got to do exploration. So this right here is your missions log, and that's where you can activate the location and stuff. This right here is your weapons and your charms. I'll talk about that in a few. And then there's your outfits, and then the bottom of that is, you know, pretty much your, you know, your materials and stuff like that. There's also music that you can get in the game, like Jin can play a flute, and you can also unlock additional saddles for your horse and stuff like that. And you do choose a horse at the end of the game, at the beginning of the game, and towards the end of the game. I don't want to spoil this for you guys, so if you're new to this game, don't listen to this. But your horse ends up getting killed. Like it gets poisoned, and you get this like really strange, random-looking horse as a substitute, and then later on towards the end of the game you get a new horse. So it's pretty much obvious right there. This right here is actually the techniques menu. I would suggest, you know, for your first point, go for the exploration stuff, because the exploration stuff activates like wind, you know. I'll explain that in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys what this means. For example, like as you see the moving videos there, it explains like which ones, you know, do what when you activate them. So what happens is, in the menu, like on your map, there will be a right directional button you'll click on, and then it will show like different exploration points. And every time you activate the wind direction by touching your touchpad, like swiping it up, and then it will show the direction with wind and stuff, and that should take you to your destination and all that. So you basically have different ones to pick from, so choose the one that you know is better. So you'll start off with a half bow, and then you'll get a long bow like in the middle of the game. I do recommend the long bow, but really upgrade them because if you don't upgrade them, they won't perform well and you won't get very much damage. The saddles in the game, you can earn those by getting banners and stuff. There is 80 of them in the game, so if you want to get all the different types of saddles for your horse, then collect them all. So in the next menu, there's samurai stances and the ghost. Your stances are different ones. There's moon stance, wind stance, water stance, and stone stance. So your stances you'll unlock throughout the game, and they're really, really good. One of them's good for like swords, and the other one's good for like spears. One's really good at blocking, and then another one's like regular swords and all. So just be aware of which ones you're going to unlock first, like when you start the game and everything. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, the main parts of the game. I do have to say, though, for a 2-year-old game, this was absolutely awesome to play. I really did enjoy myself every single minute I was playing this. I would usually spend 12 to 14 hours on this game because, I really wanted to get it done so I can move on to the next game. But I was really happy to come back to it every time, and I really do enjoy games like this, especially if they're in Japan and stuff like that. But I really do recommend this game if you like games like this. And the story is just really good. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the charms. These are the charms I use on Jin. But before that, let's talk about the skins of the swords. So throughout the game, you'll earn different types of sword skins. Each one of them, you can find them in Pillars of Light. The Pillars of Hope, actually, sorry. Pillars of Hope is ones that you can find in the world, but always look out for a yellow bird that flies, and it will lead you to one, so be aware of that. And these are the charms that I use on Jin, and I really do recommend them. The ones that I use, like the charm of Mizu no Kami, is good for perfect parries, staggers, and so on. So I'd recommend that charm. Other ones, there are many different types of charms to get in the game. You can earn them by doing missions, side missions, mythic tales, and so on. If you don't want to use the charm I said, Azumi no Izora is good too for stagger. And also there's ones for bludgeoning, as in damage, and so on. There's basically melee, defensive, and health charms and stuff like that. So just pick wisely on which ones you want to use. And all this is like linked to Jin, so he pretty much, how you say it, he's actually performs better with the charms on. So yeah, choose wisely on which ones that you pick, but go with the ones that I went with, because they really did help me a lot. So if you notice, there are different types of charms that are rated either 1 or 2. The 2 ones are the most improved compared to the 1, because you will get those by doing the fox shrines, and you have to earn like a specific number of those in order to unlock the second one. And then the ones that you guys see that are like repeated and stuff, you can equip 2 like in two slots, and it will make it better. But I would highly not suggest that. You're better off just picking the ones that you want to go for, rather than pick like 2 different charms for your character. I was going to do that, but I thought to myself, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea. So I just went with the ones that I thought was perfect enough for Jen. And Charmin and Nari is a good one. Um, those two I really do run. Um, Charmin and Nari is really good, and I think that it's one of the best ones to use. The Charm of Nari's mod is good. I would suggest that one. Really good one. Charm of Silence is good if you're wanting to have have your detection speed down by 15%. Charm of Bludgeoning is good for stagger damage. And the Charm of Fortitude, that one is even good. You can survive lethal damage and gain resolve rather than, instantly lose all of your health and stuff. It's just worth it. So, these right here, guys, are called Trons. You basically walk up to one, you basically climb your way up to them. You have to, make your way to, the beginning of them, and then you climb them. So when you reach the top of these, you bow to them, and then you'll unlock a charm or something like that. And if you collect them all, if you find them all in the game, then you get a mask. So it's really worth it in my opinion. You do get charms from doing these, and you do all kinds of other things as well. So sometimes some of these shrines do have exploration places. Some of them will lead you up or back down or left, right, or whatever. So usually you have to find your way either across or another way around or something like that. But be aware that some of them do require you to have the grappling hook. You have to get that from Taka, the second part of the game. So be aware that some of them do require that. And if they do require that, then come back to it later on. And don't even worry about it for right now. Don't get stressed about it. Believe me, I didn't know what they meant at first. Whenever, some of them required a grappling hook. And I was actually quite surprised about that because I really do like games like that, that actually has grappling hooks in them. I really do enjoy that type of mechanic to them and stuff. So, you'll get to the top of the the top of the area in around 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on where it's located. Some of them are located down, some of them are just up. So just take your time and make your way up and stuff. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to watch this. So just, just watch this and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, you guys, so as you saw there, that was one of them in the first area that I did, and then I bowed to the shrine up top. So that's what you do on these shrines. You make your way to the top. Sometimes it does require the grappling hook, and then after that, then you get a charm like this one, and then that's how you basically do it. It's pretty simple. And then all you do is click R2 to descend back down, and then you're home free and stuff. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, liberation. Now, there are many locations, like Mongol territories, that you do have to liberate and take over and stuff like that. And then there are some that has bosses linked to them. So it's the biggest areas, and be aware of that. But if you do liberate one area, it will open up 1/4 of the map. So, like, some of the map, as you saw earlier, was not filled up and everything. You couldn't hardly see, and it was so cloudy and stuff. That means you have to discover the whole entire map by yourself and discover what's in each area. Um, that's one of the most annoying parts. That's what they really wanted you to explore Tsushima and just go all around and discover everything and stuff. So I kind of get that point, but it would have been easier, just to have it like filled up and everything, and you can actually see what was going on and where everything is yourself. So I kind of get the point of how that is, but that's really no problem to me. I really did enjoy the exploration of this game, especially doing some of the areas in the game as well. Doing the liberation part was absolutely fun. Give it a try if you never, if you want a real experience and stuff. So you do have two choices when it comes to liberation, either stealth or you can just activate standoff. So as I said earlier, standoff is basically like you're in a western and you go up against the enemies and stuff like that, and you can eliminate up to 5 enemies, but you do have to have the Sakai clan armor in order to do that, and you also do have to get upgrades for it as well. So in other words, just make sure that you have plenty of materials for upgrades, and whatever you do, do not spend any of your supplies early in the game. There's two reasons for that why. Number one is because some of the upgrades, they're usually pretty costly. And that really depends on, like what upgrades come with what. Some of them does require gold materials, so save that. Hide, save that. Flowers, and even steel. So save every single one of your your materials and stuff until like towards the end of the game, and then you'll have everything ready. So I wanted to let everybody know that this game was just really, really enjoyable. I do highly recommend it if you guys like action adventure games, but I still think of this as kind of like a hack and slash game. In my opinion, it may not be to you guys, but it kind of does to me, because this is like based in the 1200s and stuff like that, when ancient China and all that happened. But even though this is Japan and stuff, I really did enjoy this game and stuff, as I said. But if you guys ever played Sekiro, and I hope I said that right, but if you guys played Sekiro, I haven't yet, so let me know in the comments if that's a good game to play, and if it's any different than this game. I think it is. But let me know anyways. But anyway, as you guys are seeing here, this is Jin going up against his friend here. Ryuzo is actually, yeah, his friend from when he was a child, and he's the main person in the Ronin. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil it too much for you guys, but that's this is a battle, and I didn't want to spoil this for you guys, but I wanted you to know at least. But anyway, but this game sometimes was so emotional. Jin was so close to many of the characters and stuff. Some of it was pretty sad, some of it was intense, some of it was just, mind blowing. And every time I spent on this game, I was just having so much fun and everything. So, right after I completed the game, I wanted to make a video for you guys to let you know about everything about this. And I hope you guys stay tuned for the end of the video towards it. I also have a couple of trophy tips for you guys. So there's like 2 trophies in the game I want to give tips for you guys on. Show you the locations and what you do and stuff like that. So please stay tuned towards the end. But right now, as I was saying about liberation, I do apologize if I changed the subject on that. Make sure that you do take over every single location. There's 45 locations to liberate in the game because there's 15 in each area. And whenever you do complete the Mongol territories, you will fill up 1/4 of the map. It will, like when you go to the map after completing a territory, the Mongol territory will show up in a red diamond. So after you complete it, it will like shake a little bit and then pop, and then it will show like a little area. So right after that happens, that's when you can actually go and do the main one. But be careful because some of them require you to be more advanced into the level and stuff. So if you're going against a stronger territory than what you're going up against, usually you could get hit with only like 1 arrow and you'll go down instantly. So be careful on that because you will get killed pretty easily. So the main territories I want to talk to you guys about is the ones that has a boss at the end of it. There are 5 of those, I think 5 or 6 of those, and you do go up against a boss at the end of those, and they're the ones that are the main ones. And those, you do save people in them, you do get the banners, you release some falcons, and so on. And that's pretty much what you do in the game. And it's just, it's pretty fun. But if you take over every single thing that's on your map, like if you do all the liberated places and stuff and they're liberated, then your whole area will fill up. So, yeah, do all those, but some of them's going to take some time because you do have to level up a little bit more and also upgrade yourself and everything. So just watch out for that. So the next thing to talk about is, of course, upgrades. Your upgrades are, you're going to need to upgrade your weapons, your armor, and even have some really good charms. Because you got to make sure that Jin can handle those enemies, and can also have more defense to himself and everything. So please start working on getting his skills up, and also work on and practice on your blocking. Sometimes, depending on what difficulty you play, it does get a little harder. So right at the end, all I'm going to tell you guys is this. First thing is, like, if Jin can handle, defeating, like, really hard enemies, like heavy men, like heavy brutes, then he can definitely handle anyone. I mean, Jin is real capable of killing pretty much everyone and everything, especially, Ronin and Mongols and so on. But as you guys know, this guy right here, Lord Shimura, that is Jin's uncle. So, he thinks of Jin as his son. So, I think that's really sweet and all, but all really Lord Shimura cares about, he only cares about honor. And later in the game, Jin, he becomes the ghost of Tsushima. So he forgets who he really is in the end and stuff. But I gotta say, the ending of this game was quite shocking. And I really did like every single fight that I was in and stuff. It was just something to really get into, and I was mind blown by every situation that was going on. So my point is, you guys, is like, when you're really getting close to that platinum, you'll feel very proud of yourself for getting it done. I know I did, and I couldn't believe that I beat it. And oh yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to mention to you guys. So there are 61 Tales of Tsushima missions. Those are the side quests in the game. There's 61 of those. The mythic tales, you'll get those, like, throughout the game and stuff whenever you progress through the story missions. So always make sure to write down what you have completed. Look around each camp and stuff for for the innocent people that needs help and stuff. They'll have a logo over their head. And also, just play and have fun with this game, because every minute of it really matters. And it really does, because the gameplay itself is so good that you can actually, play this game over and over again. I know I would, but I probably would get tired. But other than that, I really did have fun with this game. I thought it was just a load of fun. The environments and all that. I know I mentioned this a bunch of times, you guys. I do apologize for that. But I don't know. There's just something about this game that I really loved about it. Especially the, the music, the soundtrack to it, Everything about this game is just so good. And I talk about it over and over again, and I do apologize for that. But I do say, though, for a game, that's 2 years old and stuff like that, this is the old version, Ghost of Tsushima, and this is not the director's cut. So I just want to let you guys know that, first of all. Second of all, there is a director's cut for the PS4 and 5 version. And I wanted to let you guys know, if you already have the Platinum for PS4 version, you can, transfer your save to the PS5 version. And you can also get the Platinum for that. But take note, though, when you do get the PS5 version, you do have to take a picture all over again, like the cutscene thing or something like that, whatever you call it, the photo mode. And you do have to take a picture with that, and then you'll get the platinum for the PS5 version. So, enough about the game. Let's talk about the trophies. So, for the trophy tip of the day, we're going to talk about two of the trophies in the game. First one's called Monochrome Masters. Now, Monochrome Masters is where you look for the black and white dye merchants, and they give you guys some really awesome dye for like your outfits. So they do cost flowers. You do have to give flowers for each one. You can get them for like your hat. You can get like new masks, new black colors added to like your outfits, and even your weapons and stuff like that. There's like some for your like bow and all that. And some of these, the black merchant had some pretty good ones, but the white one also had some good ones. So this is the location of the white dye merchant. And as you guys saw, the last one was the black dye merchant. So the white dye merchant has all things white, including the bow and outfits, and even a mask there as well. So make sure to save up all of your flowers and stuff that you get. You only get like one flower and all that. But in the end, it's really worth it because it makes some of your outfits like totally black, and you can get dyes throughout the game by going to regular merchants. They're located at like different campsites, and you can get different types of dyes and all that for like each of your weapons and even your armor and all that stuff. So I ended up getting a couple of things, but here's what happens. You do have to buy one item per merchant that you go to. So always be aware of that. And you do have to buy at least one item per merchant that you visit. So you can buy anything you want at them, just as long as you have a lot of flowers. So I ended up buying pretty much everything from both merchants. So the next trophy we're going to talk about is All in the Wrist trophy. Now, the All in the Wrist trophy is where you have to go into standoff mode. And so, as I said, standoff mode, you got to like get your sword ready, then you start killing the enemies while holding the triangle. So for this one, you got to equip the Sakai clan armor on, have it fully upgraded, and this is what happens. So there's one enemy down, there's two enemies, and then there's also 3 enemies, 4 enemies, and then the last one you'll get the trophy. So there's that. So here's the last tips I'm going to provide for you guys for this game. So the tips I'm going to give you guys is make sure that you liberate every single location in Tsushima. Make sure that you take over every single, make sure that you liberate every single Mongol territory. And also earn every single collectible you got in the game. Do all the duels and everything. Complete every single side mission in the game. There is 61, as I said. And make sure that you keep track of the ones that you have completed. If you miss some, look for a guide online. It will help you out and stuff like that. And then do all the mythic tales. And as I said, there will be some that are linked with the story. So the next thing to the last thing is get some of these activities done to unlock one of the trophies. You got to do the Shino shrines. You got to do bamboo strikes. You got to complete all the duels, the haikus, hot springs, and Inara shrines. So make sure that you do all that. And then in the end, you'll get the trophy. Also, the fox shrines. Make sure that you find all the fox dens, They'll be in different locations around Tsushima, and also, you know, you bow to them and you'll get like a charm and stuff like that. So find additional ones, and you'll also have a Moloch too. After you do every single thing in the game, then voila, boom, you get the platinum trophy called Living Legend, and that's that. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into my video. I hope you like and subscribe for more upcoming videos in the future. So without further ado, you guys, this is Red TV Play signing out, and I hope you guys have the great rest of your weekend.